Bitcoin has recently breached $50,000 as more good news continues to pour into the crypto space. Canada has launched North America's first Bitcoin ETF, beating US regulators to the punch. We also have an interesting article coming out of Forbes about how the DeFi space is affecting the global economy. But not all is well and good for some, as we have another crypto firm being fined for violating US sanctions. Lastly, I'll be taking a look at Bitcoin's price action within the charts. All that and more in today's video. Let's get into it. First up on the menu, we've got a great article coming out of Yahoo Finance. North America's first Bitcoin ETF launches in Canada today. Scrolling down below, you see that Sam Seif, Purpose Investments founder and CEO, thinks Canadian regulators felt it was an important product for the marketplace. Investors are already saying we're going to own this asset one way or the other, he told Yahoo Finance Canada. I think regulators are probably recognizing that it's probably better to put that into a regulated structure than a non-regulated structure. Directly holding Bitcoin has its risks. Exchanges have been hacked, storage keys have been lost, and passwords can be forgotten. Seif says the ETF takes those risks out of the equation. Well, this is pretty good news, as I feel it further legitimizes the crypto space as the institutional FOMO continues. And while on the topic of ETFs, an article from Bitcoin.com 2 days ago, NYDIG registers for a Bitcoin ETF, Morgan Stanley named as a participant in the SEC filing. Just recently, during MicroStrategy's Bitcoin for Corporations event, Stone Ridge Assets Manager and New York Digital Investments Group, NYDIG founder Rose Stevens explains that he sees a wall of money entering the Bitcoin space. A week later, after that statement, NYDIG has revealed that the company has filed for a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund and is hoping for regulatory approval. So some are speculating that this could be a sell the news event, similar to what we saw back in December of 2017 when CMEs deployed their futures trading contracts. Things are certainly different in today's market conditions than they were back in 2017. Back in 2017, the price of Bitcoin was heavily driven by retail investors who believed that institutions were merely dinosaurs that were being front-ran for their unwillingness to adapt with a financial revolution. I'm not so sure about that theory. I remind myself that institutions are bound by some strict regulations. I also remind myself that the SEC keeps a very watchful eye over these institutions, and in some cases, an institution can lose their entire bank charter for being a bit too cavalier about their investments. So perhaps the safe play back in 2017 for institutions was to short the price of Bitcoin, not only making money to the downside, but keeping prices low long enough for regulation to catch up. It seems to me that the traditional financial titans are just beginning to deploy their war chests upon the crypto market. You guys let me know in the comments down below. Do you think this ETF would be a sell the news event, or do you think this is a very bullish catalyst that will drive Bitcoin to much higher price levels over time? Next up, we have this interesting article from Forbes. Ben Gortzel, CEO of SingularityNet. We also know him for his work with Hanson Robotics, as well as Sophia the Robot, a very fascinating and intelligent fella to say the least. This article goes on to say, crypto's had future and options for some time, but only recently has it started developing its own versions of some of the more sophisticated structures in the traditional financial ecosystem. The decentralized finance DeFi sector has seen an astounding growth recently. In 2019, there was $275 million of crypto collateral locked in the DeFi economy. By February 2020, it was $1 billion, and it eventually hit $4 billion by late July before reaching $14 billion today. The majority of DeFi applications currently run on the Ethereum blockchain. This has greatly negatively impacted the cost and speed of Ethereum transactions. But these problems have, in turn, stimulated a flurry of creative development regarding layer 2 efficiency-orientated tools running on top of Ethereum, as well as alternative, faster, cheaper, more scalable blockchains. By this point, the question isn't whether DeFi will become a major factor in the global economy, but rather how creatively it will be developed and to what extent it will emerge as a force for broad benefit. One of the keys to guiding DeFi in a beneficial direction will be integrating advanced decentralized AI. So far, few DeFi projects have leveraged AI, but we may well see AI woven into the next burst of DeFi activity in 2021, and maybe even in a way that enables DeFi to push startup decentralized tech projects forward much faster. Very interesting read in this article. I'll be sure to leave a link of it in the description down below. And a little bit of trouble in paradise found within this article from Cointelegraph. Another crypto firm hit with fines for violating US sanctions. BitPay will have to pay the US Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Control over $500,000 for crypto services to sanctioned regions. In a February 18th announcement of settlement, OFAC said that BitPay had facilitated approximately 129,000 worth of digital currency-related transaction with BitPay's merchant customers by users from Crimea, Cuba, North Korea, Iran, Sudan, and Syria, effectively the full range of geographical sanctions that OFAC has in place. OFAC repeated that crypto firms need to align themselves with sanctions programs, saying the actions emphasize that OFAC obligations apply to all U.S. persons, including those involved in providing digital currency services. So there you have today's news segments. I'll be leaving links in the description down below to all these articles so that you can take a deeper dive on them. Now let's move on to the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin up on the daily chart. Starting off the analysis by toggling into the price action, I see that Bitcoin continues to hold itself up very well ever since breaking out of this liquid zone found down below. This liquid zone has a bottom side coming in around $40,616 and a top side coming in around $42,149. Dropping down below to the RSI looks good as it remains in the bullish control zone, and I also see that the exponential moving average remains with a very positive slope and also has gained the bullish control zone. So overall, a very good look for the bulls right now as Bitcoin marches its way up higher. Down below in the stochastics, they're momentum up as they're freshly crossed to the upside, looking fairly nuclear. However, you can see that when Bitcoin trends that the stochastics just like to swerve around in this overbought zone, and that overall is just a sign of strength under trending behavior. Down below in the MACD still looks all right as the moving averages are very much aggressively sloped to the upside. However, the histogram does seem to be losing a little bit of positive momentum, at least at the time of recording. Overall, things are looking good for Bitcoin as it holds up around $52,070 at the time of recording, and it seems likely that it will make another stab to the upside. However, if Bitcoin starts to close any daily candle bodies below the 10 simple moving average, which is coming in around 48,341, then a likely test of that 21 exponential moving average. At the time of recording, the 21 is living around $44,077, but that will rise on this next tick as if Bitcoin is able to get a daily candle closure anywhere where it's at trading right now. If Bitcoin gets a daily candle body closure below the top side of this liquid zone over time, around 40,662, then overall I'll be looking for Bitcoin to re-enter this overall greater range. I see that the 30 simple moving average is still living within that range, and I also see the 55 exponential moving average in that range as well. And all of these notable moving averages continue on their bullish posturing, with the lower periods living above the higher periods as they continue to fan away from each other. So at the time of recording, strength is still very much present within the Bitcoin chart. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for coming by and checking out this video. I hope you're very well wherever you are at in the world. And until I see you in the next video, have yourselves a powerful day.